elected into any leadership position in our great party and has not been duly assigned any role, but goes ahead to arrogate such to himself, will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Similarly, all persons on the platform of our great party at all levels who identify with these enemies of the oneness of our greatness of our party shall have their seat declared vacant as required by law.
Well, those were strong words from the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Bamanga Tukur. At that time, a few months ago, when he came strong on and hard on some of the members who they refer to as aggrieved members of the party. Don't forget that those members were some of them worked out on the special national convention held by the party in Abuja. Well, the picture of one of these people that we're talking about, it appears that the step that Alhaji Bamanga took didn't work at all, as this man that you're seeing right on your screen, Alhaji Kawubaraje, led some members. He was the chairman of the new PDP, and that is the group that Alhaji Bamanga Tukur was referring to as imposters. But eventually, this man walked out of the party. They said they are merging with the opposition party, the APC. Let me come back to you in the studio here. What we saw that unfolded, I mean, Alhaji Bamanga Tukur is one of the targets of the aggrieved members of the party. They do not want him as a leader of the party. Let me come to you, Dr. Isuola. What we saw, the way the party handled this crisis, do you think it was the best, or do you think there could be some other ways in which they could have handled those crises, those issues?
Well, you need conspiracy to resolve conspiracy. Once you do things not based on ideology, your reaction will be emotional. Your reaction will be, if you like, bogus, happy-go-lucky, deeply glad, if you like. You see, we just said it in this studio that no political party, so-called, has ideology in this country. If they did, for heaven's sake, Alhaji Tukur does not have to come to the stream and start issuing threats to anybody. When you belong to a political party, it is your belief, it's your sentiment, it's your thinking, it's your ideology, it's what you live for. Therefore, you can die for it. So you don't need to threaten me to say, I am losing grace with my party, I need to come home. And if you look at the trend of his trend, he said, and that is very instructive, that anybody who decides to engage in anti-party activities will have his or her seat declared. What message does that give you? It simply tells you that the average Nigerian party politician gets his seat for the purpose of what to eat. So he tries to threaten them that if you do anything against our party, we are going to remove your lifeline. We are going to get you out of job. And if you are broke for the next 3 months, you are going to think twice and come back home. It boils down to what we are talking about. We are playing not politics the way it should be played in real democratic tenet, but again, we're in crisis, and that's exactly what it is. So I don't see any other way through which Bamanga Tukur would have handled it, because it was a product of conspiracy, and it needed conspiracy to resolve the issue. Otherwise, I don't see any other thing that he could have done in this sense.
Probably, it seems you
well, I'm not too sure if it was a product. No, I'm not too sure if it's a product of conspiracy. I think what is important here is that this is an internal affair of the political party. The only potential worry is that if you have such a crisis within the party, it could well affect the balance within the legislature, either the Senate or the House of Representatives, when you have members defecting to other parties. That is the potential worry for the country. But like any other political system anywhere in the world, you have intrigues like that, you have infighting, and parties do sometimes emerge from existing parties. A good example was the Labour Party in the early 80s in the UK, when the Gang of Four emerged from the Labour Party and from the Social Democratic Party. And it changed the balance within the Labour Party itself. So that is the only potential problem for us. In terms of how they could have solved it, maybe elders within the PDP itself could have got themselves better organized to make sure that this was dealt with in-house, as it were, rather than becoming the national issue that it became. That would have been the first major step that would have been taken by the PDP. That would be my own criticism of how it was handled. Now, the problem with that is that Alhaji Tukur himself was at the center of it all. And there are other members of the PDPs, elder statesmen within the PDP, who could have held emergency crisis meetings on how to resolve that issue before it became a national issue. That would be my main criticism of how it was handled.
Chief Udoka, what do you think?
I think quickly, if you permit me, sir.
Go ahead.
You see, what I'm trying to say, Prof, is that, right, the way it was handled, to me, has some elements of conspiracy. But you came to say, well, maybe the elders will have come together. But where will these elders come from? From what position? From what ideology? Babangida has been silent. Atiku is a very prominent man in the whole crisis. Obasanjo, who was pretending to be neither here and there, came out recently to show that any moment from now is also likely to go away from the party. Because, like I said, there's no ideology that bound them together. It's all about, when I lose relevance in this party, I take stand against these people, make some noise so that they can give me back my relevance, or I go away to another party. And that's exactly what has been. So I see it as more of conspiracy of being relevant, conspiracy of materialist accumulation.
Conspiracy of relevance.
of relevance and materialist accumulation.
All right.
That's the way in which I look
Chief
at
Udoka, let me allow you to wade into it. Because the fact remains that the president is the father of a party. In this case, I mean, when we have a president from the ruling party, he's the father of, do you think that the president played his role? What should he have done if he were to play a major role in this?
Well, there's something I need you to look at. I've been a chairman of a political party and chairman of political parties. The whole ideology surrounding Nigerian politicians is all about what they can get from it. That is the real problem. I'll give you an example. In November 16 election in Anambra State, take for instance the APC. The APC wanted to field Dr. Chris Ngige as the governorship candidate. There's also another man called Senator Okonkwo who wants the position. And there's a man who has been laboring in the state for too long for the party. It's called Ezemo. 3 strong candidates. But the moment the party settles for Dr. Chris Ngige, Okonkwo was the first person to fire his bullet. He's leaving. The next is Ezemo. Not just he's leaving his party flag bearer, but he's leaving the party to another party to contest the same election. Where is ideology?
Ideology.
So it's a matter of, if you don't give me what I want, I go in search of it elsewhere.
That's
it. Chief Udoka. Well, the crisis in the PDP went viral in the sense that it went all the way to Rivers State, and up till now, that state is still battling in the rivers of political commotion. Well, what I mean is that what we saw happen in the House of Assembly in Rivers State went beyond just mere misunderstanding between lawmakers. It went to what we can liken to what we saw in the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. We saw lawmakers virtually hitting on their own heads mace of the house. We saw them beating themselves up on the floor of the house. That was how bad things went. It went from bad to worse. That's how things went in the course of the year 2013. Well, we take a short break, and when we return, we'll start from where we stopped now, looking at the crisis in Rivers State and a view of assessing the political activities on the year 2013. You're still watching Politics Today with me here, Shane Wakimale, and my guest. We'll be right back.
Ask yourself, what does everyone want in life? 1, quality. You should never compromise on quality. I never do. 2, speed. You think fast, so you want your data connection to be even faster. And of course, everyone wants to be appreciated. like free roaming.